Sold out arenas, skyrocketing attendance, and now chartered flights. A very different dynamic greets the 2024 WNBA season, which tips off tonight. The Connecticut Sun, who host Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever, selling out their first game since the franchise's first ever game more than 20 years ago. That is the WNBA the Golden State expansion team will step into next season. What a time it is. Here to talk about the season and the debut of the Golden State team name and logo is Golden State Warriors Senior Vice President of Marketing, Amanda Chin. Amanda, great to have you here on Cheddar. Thanks so much. The big announcement, let's start with it. It is on your t-shirt.
That's right. Golden State Valkyries, excited to be able to share the news publicly finally.
Yeah, we've been waiting on the team name and the logo. I don't know what a Valkyrie is, so tell our viewers a little bit about what that name means and why it fits.
I will. Okay, so a Valkyrie is from Norse mythology. It is a warrior woman or a group of warrior women that are responsible for granting an honorable afterlife to the bravest warriors. And they fly through air and sea alike. So
spot on.
Yes.
Strong. So would you ever have imagined when this was announced that the team was coming to Golden State, that this would be the environment that I just mentioned, the sold out arenas, the skyrocketing ratings, merchandise selling like crazy? If I had told you that then, what would you have said?
I mean, there's a ton of momentum around women's sports.
Yeah.
Every time I open the news, there's some incredible news about how brands and franchises are supporting women athletes, which is incredible. There's a new NWSL franchise that joined the Bay Area, Bay FC, and we're excited to bring a new franchise to the Bay with the WNBA.
You're right. It's not just the WNBA. It is women's sports wide. What do you think was the spark that started this growing now forest fire?
I mean, it's good business. Women's sports is good business. People are interested. There's this false narrative that only women watch women's sports, and that's simply not true. There's data that shows that there are 29 million people across the United States watching women's sports. In the Bay Area, that breaks down to 60% male, 40% female. So we know that everyone is watching women's sports.
So obviously the Caitlyn Clark factor has been enormous for the league. How do you put in perspective what she's done for the game as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn Clark, along with many other incredible women athletes and WNBA players, are definitely changing the game. Caitlyn Clark is obviously incredibly talented, and we're starting to see how brands are stepping into the power of what women athletes can do for this game. So yeah, I think Caitlyn Clark is definitely a game changer, and we're excited to see what she's going to do this season with the Fever.
The debate has raged throughout the preseason. Is she underpaid at just $76,000 a year? I have to get your take on that.
I think that anybody who is outraged that Caitlyn Clark is making $76,000 a year in her rookie year in the league should think about their contribution to the ecosystem, right? How are you contributing? Because it is an ecosystem. Are you buying tickets? Are you buying merch? Are you subscribing to League Pass? There are many things that you can do to participate to help grow the ecosystem and ultimately the field of competition.
Absolutely, the responsibility lies in the hands of the fans. Buy a shirt, watch a game, go to a game, and I don't hear enough people saying they've done that in the past and they'll do that this year. What about the role of marketers of these large companies and the television networks?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to bring historic sponsorship to women's sports with our WNBA team. So what we do with our prospective partners is going to really elevate the field and allow for us to do things within women's sports that's never been done before.
The role of marketing, what has it played as we look back on the last, let's call it 10 years of the WNBA, and what role should it play in the future? Have they done a good enough job publicizing the stars that they do have?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in the last decade plus, we've also seen how social media has come into play and taken a really different turn in terms of how marketing shows up within women's sports. I think that the WNBA and Kathy have done a fantastic job of utilizing the tools that are in front of them. And we're just in a different era right now. I think we're really seeing the momentum start to pick up. And as long as we all understand that we can capitalize on this moment and really keep the momentum up, I think we'll be in a good space for the future.
Indeed, we are a business-focused network. What are some of the corporations that have helped raise this tide?
Yeah, I mean, just today or yesterday, I think I read that Skims became a partner with the WNBA. We're looking at Adidas being supportive with Candace Parker being named the president of their women's basketball. And Dick's Sporting Goods actually just announced that Caitlyn Clark is going to be featured in all 700 plus of their stores across the country. So we're seeing everybody sort of jump on board and understand, again, the power of women athletes.
Of course, Nike with the signature Caitlyn Clark shoe and the signature Sabrina Ionescu shoe, which men wear across the country. NBA players wear that shoe, so they've been a huge supporter. I have to ask you about the Golden State Warriors. Of course, you've had a marketer's dream, and the Splash Brothers, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, more than 10 years, 6 NBA Finals, 4 rings. Is that coming to an end? Have we seen the last of the Splash Brothers?
I don't think we are seeing this era of basketball with Golden State Warriors come to an end. No, we've got an ownership group that's pretty bullish about winning both on and off the court. We'll see what our offseason holds in terms of how the roster will shape up for next season, but we're all excited to see what we come back with. And I know that Steph is anxious to win again, so hopefully we're in the contention for a title.
Well, speaking of a title, your owner, Joe, said, yeah, we're just guaranteeing a championship in the first 5 years, so no pressure on you guys.
Yeah.
How do you build a brand new franchise from scratch?
I mean, fantastic question. We have incredible ownership, right? Like having
the best, arguably.
Having a successful franchise is about ownership, ownership, ownership. And then we've got really smart operators. We've got people that have built a legacy franchise with the Golden State Warriors and can bring that expertise over to the WNBA side and help grow the overall league.
How involved is the tech community that surrounds the Chase Center in the Warriors, and will they be with the Valkyries?
Yeah, I mean, we are situated close to Silicon Valley. It's sort of in our backyard. We work really closely with partners, including Google, who's situated in Silicon Valley. And we're looking to bring the most technological options to our teams, both on and off the court, right? We want to make sure that the fans are having fantastic experiences, but also the players, and making sure that they have access to whatever is going to give them a competitive edge.
I've been to the Chase Center, and there's no better experience, arguably, in professional sports. You're in good hands. You've done a terrific job. Amanda Shen, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
The Golden State Valkyries. There is the brand new logo coming to the WNBA. Tip-off tonight for the WNBA season. Thanks so much.
Thank you.